Back at it again. Inane Blather.
Here we
Episode number 93.
93.
Can you believe it?
I don't believe it.
Record this podcast.
You what?
We record this podcast.
You what?
Oh, yeah.
They've been known to.
But it's
Nice.
Inane Blather. I have a soundboard with a bunch of crap on here. We're going to talk about a bunch of crap. I'm going to have a soundboard. I even have two sounds on here that I don't know what they're labeled because the ads came back on and covered it up. So let's see here.
Right now, you're very close to a world war on this whole.
Okay, that's what this podcast is all about. Going to a world war on this hole with your fellow.
Headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
So,
Amen.
how was your day? You're out and about doing different things, dog sitting, stuff like that.
Well,
How's it going over there?
to quote the great Homer Simpson, one of the greatest minds of our time, it's boring. No, it kind of was just like a
Suck me from the back.
I think that's what
that kind of day. Yeah, that's. I wish it was that kind of day. No,
What?
it just was basic.
boring.
These dogs are so sweet. And also there's a hot tub here, so that's not boring. I was in the hot tub earlier. Which was very nice, and
With
it was
the
a beautiful
dogs.
sunny day. Yeah,
That
so
filter
relaxing.
is toast.
Yeah, especially because two of them are Bernese mountain dogs. Yeah,
And they are splashing out there.
yeah. One of them
It
is
is
probably like
so
130 pounds.
intensely relaxing. They're just barking.
Can't even stand it. Yeah, it's too
Just
relaxing.
hair all over. You can't get it off of you. It keeps sticking to you. It's all wet.
Yeah.
You know, really
Yeah.
ideal stuff.
That's the last time I went to a hot springs. It was like that, you know, just dogs jumping in, and it's just
Really
no,
into the hot spring.
no. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Last
you're
time I
saying
went to
because it was really relaxing. I was like, what,
yeah.
what? You took some dogs up on a hike and then
No.
brought them to a hot spring.
When I went to a hot spring, it was like a really nice kind of like resort situation in New Mexico.
Nice.
But there are ones that you can hike into, but I think they're pretty strict about how many people they even let in, or I don't know what they would do about dogs.
Sure.
Kill them, probably. No.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I know anything from the acclaimed film Dante's Peak, you got to be careful of those hot springs, and you're getting all hot and sprung with your young lover until you boil to death, or something stupid like that happened in that movie. I don't know.
Never
I just
seen
remember they were outrunning the what is it, pyroclastic cloud or whatever it's called. I'm just like making words
Fire
up now.
cloud? Yeah.
No, it's like that ash, and it's rolling in that huge like seismic wave of ash from a volcanic eruption, and like they're outrunning it with like a Ford Ranger or something like that. Like go! It's like, I don't know. We're like in fifth grade.
They
watching
stopped
that.
to
We're
have
like, this is
sex
kind
in,
of dumb.
In the hot springs.
Yeah, I think that one's got Pierce Brosnan, right? Dante's Peak. There was there used to be these spiritual siblings kind of movies that kept coming out, where it was like Volcano, Dante's Peak. You had Deep Impact and Armageddon. You had stuff like
Joe
that.
versus
It's totally
the volcano?
not just
Yeah.
those two things that I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. So there's always a different version. Instead of just people being able to go in and do a purposeful misleading ripoff like you get at the Red Box, or what people like Danny Gonzalez on YouTube get to review, like Panda Fighter. And it's got like a Kung
Little
Fu Panda
Fighter.
ripoff, yeah. or I mean, what's the B movie
B-movie?
one? Yeah,
Yeah.
the this is so, yeah, we're just trying to go to bed. But instead, it was like you just had to take your chances on getting that crowd that was looking for volcano stuff, and that hopefully yours won out, or something like that. But all those Hollywood people.
These people are sick.
Who cares? But well, not that you asked, but I'm doing okay.
I didn't ask.
Oh.
On purpose.
Yeah, call me a dolphin because I purposely did not ask. That's not what I say. But yeah, no, it's been nice here. It's kind of windy, but I've been mowing lawns. It's getting to that time. I've been wearing shorts, even when it's like, well, nope, it's already short season. Sorry, I know the high's 59 today. That's good enough.
59, that's short season.
Yeah,
right
if the sun's
there.
out and it's 59, boom. Although I hate it every time I go to work and it's like 9:30. I'm riding around on a golf cart. I'm like, oh, this is cold.
Get a blanket for your
It's
lap
still
so you look
kinda-
like an invalid.
Yeah, so I look like our great president, Jimmy Carter, I think was his name.
Yeah.
He's in the wheelchair with the long cigarette holder and stuff. But
That's Jimmy.
so we got a few different things we could blather about. I know before the show you were looking at the New York Post. That's always good. I had a
place.
couple things written down. I mean, interesting things that I probably should have looked further into. But also, MOPG or not, Manifesto
MOPG.
of Petty Grievances.
Oh, I was like, that sounds really
I
familiar.
don't know how
yeah.
universal this is, but my fucking hand soap dispenser just pisses me off. And it's like, why can't these things, why isn't there just a good way to have a nice looking hand soap dispenser that where if it looks good, it won't be the kind that you press down and it shoots across directly like onto your pants or off the edge of the sink, or if it's not shooting way out, it's dribbling down and not working, or
Why can't we have form and function?
Yes, it's like the only good usable ones are the pieces of crap that you just throw away. It's like you buy a little thing of hand soap, it's like some cheap hand soap thing. It has a picture of a fish on it or whatever the fuck you get,
Yeah.
And it's like, and it works perfectly. That little plastic spring-loaded dispenser. And instead, it's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to get this one. It's on sale at Marshall's. It's nice looking. It says soap. It's like glass. It comes with a bunch of soap in it, whatever. But somehow, I don't know if it's because it's just been used enough, because I wash my hands,
Surprisingly.
Oh, how I wish I could believe or understand that.
But or if it's because I finally got through the soap that came with it, and now I just refilled it with just a big thing of soap, whatever soap I got. I don't even know. It's fucking soap.
We use Dawn dish soap to wash our hands because I'm like, if this is good enough for my dishes, then it's definitely good enough for my hands.
Well,
because I want them clean.
Yeah, but Dawn dish soap is good because it's a degreaser, on top of
it foams
being
up really well too.
Yeah, but I mean that's why I wash my hair with it. See, I wash my hands with shampoo. Maybe that's why it's shooting out of my dispenser. So I filled up the soap dispenser with Pert Plus, so it's shampoo, conditioner.
It's
And
two
then
in
I
one.
wash my hair with Dawn dish soap, because if not, my hair is so greasy I can wring it out at the end of the day. No,
Fry some chicken. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, even more than what were you talking about before? An Alabama
Alabama fried chicken. And it was a
Alabama
picture
fried chicken. Just
of a fried egg because
just an
you know,
over-easy egg. Anyway,
emphasis on the ovary because that's the joke. There is
ovary-zy.
yeah, an ovary.
It's the 26th one that they've tried. It's over-easy. But there's ovary A, and ovary B, and ovary C, ovary D. Just go all the way down.
Ovary C. That's funny. Yeah.
What is this? Just a couple guys having a conversation? Who the hell wants to listen to that?
No.
No one. But
No.
so yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to complain about my soap
Well,
dispenser. Seems like every single one of them, they're different widths,
understand
different
completely.
sizes, different spring capacities, and then you got different like soap
Viscosities.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, so if it
It
works,
should be more universal.
suddenly it just shoots out. You know, it drives
I
me
think
nuts.
that too about getting like clogged up like shampoo or conditioner. I'm like, why is it like this? Why is it still like this? This has been around a while now,
What is this,
and
the
no
Middle
one else.
Ages?
Exactly. I'm gonna be honest. I sent an email to. Okay, so you know what bitchin' sauce is? Have you ever had that? It's like a dip. It's
I think so. Yeah.
It's like vinegar based. It has like almonds or whatever in it. It's
I think
maybe
at
like
your house.
vegetarian or whatever vegan.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's really good. It's
Yeah.
really tasty, but so it comes in a little plastic, you know, like a container, and it has a lid on it, and you take the lid off, and then there's like a plastic top on it with a tab to peel off because it's like vacuum sealed or whatever.
Yeah.
It's literally, I've never had one where you could use the tab to peel it back. And if you did get the
my
tab to peel,
God.
if it actually didn't just rip off the tab and then you just have to use a knife anyways, if it does work, the tab like just kind of tears down the middle of it, and then the plastic flops into the sauce, so you have like a big old mess on your hands. So I went online, I looked them up online, and I
went
sent
online
them
and started bitching.
a message. No, yeah, exactly. I sent them a message, and I was like, I want you to send me a video of you opening one of these yourself, because I have bought a lot of them, and I don't think it's possible to do this in a way that's not frustrating. I was like, why do you even have the tabs on these? So still waiting to hear back, but I have high hopes that they'll take my bitching seriously. So manifest with
send
petty
back-
grievances manifesting in real life.
Wow, manifesting. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just going to email you back and say,
Shut the hell up, bitch.
like, you're going to eat our sauce anyway, loser.
Yeah, I know.
You're
That's
like,
what I'm
"I'm
like.
sorry."
I have bought this a lot. I like it. And so it'd be nice if it was like not so fucking annoying to where I have to now wash a dish to get this open. What? Why is there even a tab? Then just don't
Even, oops. Uh-oh.
don't give me a tab then. If it's not for that, if it's vacuum sealed, don't give me a fucking tab. It's
Yeah.
like the torture
Once there's
of
like
that hope.
multiple things to open, it's like, what is the purpose of this? Like, I mean, and half the time, you know, there's like an outside plastic. Oh my gosh, the ones where it's outside plastic has a little perforation. You tear down and then you tear around, right? And that's like the only time you feel happier buying brand name stuff. Or I mean, for me, because it's like I'm a value store brand kind of guy.
Sure.
I don't care. Ingredients are the same with most things, but then it's always packaging that is so lacking with generic
slacking.
products. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, every time, because I do a lot of Mio, you know, either Mio
that in
Energy
water?
or I have the Mio,
Yeah.
just a flavoring, you know, just a little
Spurt
squirt
it in there.
Yeah, and like Sophia likes to drink. We get like our strawberry watermelon Mio, you know, to have. I mean, sometimes you just squirt it in the cup to have something nice to drink, or it's like you just take a long squirt into the pitcher and you have a bunch of juice. I don't care, you know? And,
Take a long squirt in the pitcher.
long squirt into that juice. It's like, that is red, bro. That is bad. No, it's strawberry watermelon, I swear.
Yeah, that's not natural.
You got guava in your pee hole. But I mean, no matter what, the Walmart branded ones, the Great Value, it's like, it's impossible. It's like, why do they even have this like perforation on the top, or, you know, bottles of like sauce or things like that? It's like, this isn't going to tear right. I mean, bags of cereal. Jesus Christ. I mean, I've been in serious online arguments about people emptying the bags of like multi-meal cereal or something into the cereal storage containers, like the ones that I use, because it's like, these things, well, it's resealable. Why are you doing it? You just reseal it. It never works. Like, it always tears for me. I feel like I am restarted. No, I am. Yeah. I'm just not cut out for this life. And it's just because that's where they can cut corners, you know, like generic stuff. They don't have to advertise, and they don't have to, I mean, none of them have to do packaging that's easy, but they can cut the corners with packaging too. And I swear, you know, I could spend the next 100 episodes just filling up the manifesto with petty grievances, just one by one, complaining about things that would just come down to packaging. Packaging in modern society is like, it seems like such a silly first world problem, in a way, but it's like, it's kind of serious. I think about it a lot. It's like the way we could change the world. We're talking about, you know, trying to get electric cars and solar energy and stuff like that. It's like, you know how much fucking oil is put into pissing us off every day with packaging? It's like, if you're a parent, oh my God, at Christmas time, if you've got a girl or a kid that likes to play with like dolls, I'm sure it's probably the same with action figures too. Anyone who likes to play with dolls, it's like, what the fuck is this? It's all because of packaging and advertising. It's like, I feel like I went through a drum full of petroleum to throw away all this plastic that won't get recycled and was a pain in the ass to open. I don't know if I sent it to the group chat, but I sent it to Dad, that classic Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David is trying to open the plastic packaging, those sealed plastic ones for his GPS.
Impossible.
And he's screaming. He's stabbing it with a knife. He can't open it.
Yeah. You did send
like,
that,
it's so funny. And like where you have to have an X-Acto knife, you know, and then at the end of the episode, he can't open his X-Acto knife package because it's in the same package and he doesn't have a knife to open it. Like, all of this stuff. I mean, you can lie to my face and say that it's like, you know, for you. Like, it's for you to make sure that you have a fresh product. No one else tampered with this. No one else used it. No, it's not. It's so that there's a certain way that you can
not first and foremost
put your marketing stuff in there, and so that you can get it to hang from a hook on a shelf at a certain level at Target or whatever, that'll catch the eye, that'll crowd out other items, and like it's just
if profit motive is what it is. It's not necessarily, it's about like finding consumers that are needing it for sure, being able to find it, but it's not about us. None of this is about us. It's not about like a product or a service. It's about making money, and you happen to sell X-Acto knives. You don't give a shit about X-Acto knives or the customers using it. You care about money.
You're just slicing your hands open on plastic packaging just to open up your TomTom GPS, you know? And it's like...
And you know what?
That's going to end up in a landfill 5 years after that.
This is not even, you know, these kind of problems... It's like, okay, whatever, first world problem, except for, you know what? Do you know who actually suffers from all this
Yeah.
stupid
They say the
bullshit,
first world
annoying
problem,
things? Yeah, that
it
poor people
ruins
have
the
to
rest
deal
of
with.
the world. Yeah.
Like, it's, not only all the waste and all this kind of stuff, but the stuff that's the shittiest is the stuff that's the cheapest. And that's the stuff that poor people are buying, and their lives already suck. So thanks for making it just that much worse, guys. Thanks for making those little things in life just suck that much more and getting us so
Yes.
frustrated after we came home from a job that doesn't pay our bills, that we're constantly stressed out about. We can barely afford to keep our stuff together. And then we have to open this stupid fucking packaging that some CEO has never even seen in his life. He's like, I have no idea what our product looks like, honestly. What do we make again?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so... I was just talking about this yesterday with some friends about the bad Safeway here in Tacoma and like what it means to like live in an area that's like an underserved community, and who they're catering to, and how much it's just like stacked and stacked and stacked and stacked on top of just like every single bad thing is what poor people get. They get worse nutrition, they get fewer options, at grocery stores. It's so apparent.
And then that worse nutrition leads to your children having worse grades. Which
like literally they
leads
can't
to
feed
them
their
having
brains.
less opportunities later down the line.
And you have more healthcare problems because early on you didn't get the nutrition you needed and all this kind of stuff. And on top of it, it just fucking sucks. It sucks to be poor, and they make it suck even more. Like, I really just...
And think about the, like, really poor. I mean, that's poor in America. And it's like, before we get these fucking packages or whatever it might be, the process of manufacturing these things are just like cartoon villain level, destroying the lives and towns of people in like the global south and stuff like that. Like what goes, man, I took an environmental science class.
So you're an expert
like,
now, college boy?
No. It was really interesting. And it's just like, and the professor, like, he understood that too. He's like, the more you learned about how impactful your life here in America is on, the developing world, stuff like that. I mean, one of the big things that one of the big takeaways, big parts of the class was like water usage and what like manufacturing denim does. It is insane. Like, it is horrible. It just poisons entire villages, and throughout the process of manufacturing, shipping, and getting like a pair of denim jeans to you is like 2,000 gallons of water or something like that, including all this water that is like unusable, and that in places with low, without regulation is just being dumped and ruining land, poisoning people, all this stuff. And it's like, even he, as someone who, I mean, he was the perfect like professor for this. He had his like solar setup, long gray ponytail, cool dude. I would mention every once in a while, like, the 60s and early 70s, and he was that guy, and he's been out, like, he's done like scientific research and done all this stuff. He's a really interesting guy. And just starting the class and learning about your carbon footprint, even if you're trying, like, even if you're trying, which I'll admit, it's already feel bad enough because I don't try very much. It's not easy to try. Trying's hard. No, but I mean, in terms of just like recycling and carbon output and this and this and that, it's like, even if you're trying, you're probably not breaking even. as an American.
If you've ever gone on a single international trip, it doesn't matter what you do your whole
Yeah.
life.
It's
You've
like
totally
you're
reversed
like
your
a
entire carbon
volcano.
footprint. So it
Yes.
doesn't matter. It's like, I mean, not that I recycle or whatever, and I'm really glad to be doing a lot more thrifting now. That makes me
Eating
feel
meat, big thing.
I don't really eat a lot of meat. And like I buy pretty much lately in the last couple of years, all of my clothes secondhand, which feels good. And also makes me just like, why don't we just do this? Just like stop making clothes for a little bit. Fashion is not only cyclical, but we have like tens of millions of pounds of clothes just like
but so many
like
clothes are those cheap things that are the problems with being poor, like you're saying. It's like how I go through so many fucking shoes because I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna spend $150 on a pair of shoes, even though it's like, well, if I just put something aside, bought a $150 pair of shoes, those are the right ones, they'd probably actually last me a decade. It's like, no, I'm buying in quotes shoes every 4 months or something like that because they're $15. I mean, I have a pair of it's like I got great shoes, $11, and I know they're directly from like Chinese slave labor practically. It's like, I don't know, I on the one hand I'd rather just be giving directly to these Chinese people in this town that's probably only exists
Company
to
town.
make shoes. Yeah. It's like that's how China has set up. That's why they're so good at manufacturing, yada yada yada. Maybe better than getting it from Walmart where they use the Chinese slave labor and then take some profit from me off of it. But at the same time, it's like, well, what else am I going to do? I don't have a shoemaker here in town. It's like, I don't know how to make shoes. Yeah, the cobbler.
Find an elf. Yeah.
It's like, gosh, I walked right past the cobbler on my way to the haberdashery. I should have thought of it when I was going to get a new cap.
Going to stop at the blacksmith,
Well, I mean, and you never know. When you have the money to do it, then you can, and it's like a better consumer, more responsible consumption, and then it goes to the people that it doesn't matter that they do it. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, our dad, he goes to a haberdashery, and he'll get a great hat that will never wear out. It's not going to end up in a landfill, and something like that. But it costs more. Maybe it was. You get a hat and it's like union labor and it's all like good economically and in terms of consumption or better.
Why do we ever feel bad about anything that we do as like working class poor people? Like we can't do anything and it doesn't matter. Like, you know what these rich people do? You know that there's like vloggers on YouTube that build $14 million houses? These gigantic monstrosities, which I find all of that, like what rich people do, rich people, not just like some upper middle class bullshit, like rich people.
Wealthy. Yeah.
Like millionaires, what they're doing is so unbelievably wasteful. They have these huge homes filled with marble. They have, gold plated things. They have all of this, and it's on a level that we couldn't even come close to in their one thing, just building a house, which a lot of like us kind of folks, that's literally never going to happen. Or we're going to buy
their
one that's already like that.
Just to hold their Teslas is bigger than my house, Yeah.
And
it's like, and at the same time, you look at that and you can talk about how wasteful it is and how it's like, you literally just don't need this. Like you can't really speak for someone else, but it's like you would be just as happy with something less wasteful. But at the same time, I don't know, as a leftist, I say, I mean, as my own personal kind of leftist, it's like, I don't think that it's bad that people spend money on themselves. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not that they have it. It's just that everyone should be able to do that. It wouldn't be a big deal. And because if everyone was able to do, I mean, half of that or whatever, people wouldn't be making those. It would just be those gross people that want that sort of thing. It's like, I literally wouldn't want something like that. And people say, no, it's
because
just
people
coke or whatever. It's like, no
No,
way.
it's not. It's because I actually have a fucking personality. Like, I'm a
Yeah.
human being. I don't need a big, stupid fucking house to make me feel cool, legitimately. Because you know what I think about? I think about those unhoused people on the streets while you're literally building a house big enough this could be a homeless shelter, you pigs.
Oh, that's what I was trying to go with.
Fucking
It's like,
pigs.
but at the same
It's so
time, you don't want to
selfish.
say like, well, why aren't they, spending their money on doing why aren't they giving this money back? It's like, well, because I don't want to put systemic issues on individual people. Even like you'd have to literally be like Jeff Bezos, like at this almost impossible level of wealth to make a systemic difference almost in terms of using your wealth. Someone who lives in a $14 million home, be like, yeah, but look at what you could have done. It's like, yeah, they could have helped a few individual people live a normal life
And
for
they didn't.
20 years. It's like, yeah,
They
no,
chose
but
to
they
live a
didn't.
big,
But
disgusting,
it's like,
empty lifestyle.
Sure.
So I do judge them. I am
oh,
judging
yeah,
them
you could
because
judge
it's like
them,
all
but I'm
of
not
these
saying
people.
that's what we want, like, the norm to be, is that, no, you personally give this up. It's like, no, they shouldn't be at that point to begin with.
The norm
because
should be that
wealth
you shouldn't
got them
even
there,
want it.
Yes.
That's the norm.
That's
You shouldn't
where the
even want to
judgment
be
comes
like
in.
that. You shouldn't be. Why would you be like this? What did you learn? Like, are you just stupid? Or have you never seen A Christmas Carol or
Yeah.
whatever? Like, do you know anything about what's
Go
going
back
on?
to
Or
our
are you
Mr.
just
Burns.
so unbelievably selfish?
Yeah.
So incredibly. And you know what? It's one thing people do it behind, like there are disgusting amounts of wealth or at least kind of hidden. And then some people out here just extravagant displays. It's so fucking sickening. And it's like, of course it's not
Donald
rich,
Trump.
these
Look at that.
individual millionaires. It's not
gross.
their fault that there's systemic injustice like we have, but they
Yeah.
do choose to literally not only do nothing about it, but completely and totally do everything
Do the
for
opposite.
themselves.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
are actively not being a part of like helping in any way. I mean, not more than a $15 million house. I don't know what kind of money you're giving to charity, but it should be a lot because you know what? As individuals, we can do something. You could give $50 a month to some organizations. If you have $15 million to spend on a house, I really hope you're like really giving.
Yeah.
And you should.
And they
And I
don't.
really hate that attitude that people are like, oh, you shouldn't be out here telling people that you're charitable. That makes you less charitable if you're like bragging about it. And I say, fuck that. That's a
cares?
stupid fucking attitude. I hate that attitude because you know what? That's called being a good example. Is saying I got involved in this charity because they do really good work. It makes me feel really good to know that I'm doing at least a little bit of my part
Yeah.
to make sure I'm doing
It's the least I can do.
something. And
Just
I think that you
giving
should do the
money
least
is
too.
literally the least I can do if I have all that money. Yeah, and it's like what I'm trying to get at is like more that solution is never in my mind like those people that you can judge for being soulless, like that.
Lame
We
and
need
basic.
to take their money and give it to these other people. No, it's just
we do.
not
It's
that
called
simple.
taxes.
Yeah, that's all. Whatever. I mean, that's already there. But it's like, it's like, no, I don't want that soulless person to be in this position without, like, all of that redistribution to have already happened. Like,
Yeah.
like there's
Everyone
no,
should be making
no way
$100
to
grand a
get
year
there.
before there's a single billionaire.
Yeah, because
Jesus
it's like,
Christ.
because it is a weird position to be in, just analyzing that sort of wealth. Like if you're talking about like influencers, content creators, someone like Mr. Beast, where it's like, well, where they're like not a landlord. You just look at Hassan, I mean, and even, and it's funny, I was going to say earlier where you're talking about like getting this big house and it's like this weird soulless, selfish thing. And it's like even Mr.
Hassan's
Hedonism
parents live with him.
Exactly. I was going to say even Mr. Consumption, Mr. Hedonism himself,
It's very cringe when you do that.
it's like he he got his stuff and he's like, fuck you. I'm not going to be able to help everyone. And I mean, you only live once. You have all this money. You buy a house, but he's like, but it's a house. Like that he has his parents live with him,
and it's like
and
a $3 million house, which is like, who cares? That's like in like West Hollywood. Yeah,
sure,
no shit.
But I'm not gonna
like,
ever be able to buy a $3 million house and a $200,000 Porsche. But it's like, but still, and that's you look at the big picture. He's way closer to homelessness than a billionaire would ever be, or what is it like? LeBron James is closer to being homeless than he is to being Jeff Bezos, that sort of thing. And LeBron James is almost a billionaire,
And
but
Hassan raises
like,
money for organizations too, so he does do some.
It's like
actual
consumption and all that
objective
stuff. I mean, it's different than like just the tried and true capitalist exploitation to accumulate this wealth and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, but
for the sake of having more of it, like it's just like so you can have bigger homes, so you can have.
Just to have it. It's like, at least, there are people, it's like, when you have too much, maybe you're the person who gives to charity because it's literally the least you can do. All it is parting with money,
That's like so easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't even take any time. You set it up automatic.
It's like, instead of just this the attitude of the imperative of expansion, really is both like a foundation of modern capitalism and will be the death knell of it. It's like that's the reason things get bad under capitalism, is because it's like an accepted reality that like expansion and accumulation is the goal. It's like you don't just start your business. I mean,
Stagnate.
These people don't. You don't do it, and it's like, well, and I've been. These people have jobs. They're happy. I'm selling a product. I made all this money. It's like, no, when you've made X amount of money, that means I can open up a new shop, or I can get another investment property, or I can get this, or I can expand, or I can buy this other thing. It's like, why is that the imperative? Like, why is that the accepted norm? That's the problem. Is just
grind culture.
Why is just it expansion in general?
That's what it's like, because that's where your meaning comes from. Because it's like, what I would do if I could make $150,000 a year, which is not shit compared to millionaires and billionaires. I'd have, I would have a personal trainer. I would take some Spanish lessons, like from a tutor, would be really nice, and take some saxophone lessons so I could get, I feel like I'm just stagnated at like an intermediate level. I don't really know where to go with my saxophone playing. And I feel like I would do things to like really enrich my life and like support some local businesses and things like that, and be able to give back to my community as more of a whole person who's really happy with what I got going on and has like some
You're
hobbies
so
and things.
Selfish and stupid when you do that.
Yeah.
But it's like a personal expansion
instead of
personal enrichment. Which then,
instead of putting time and money into making more money, how embarrassing!
Yeah, it's just strange. I mean, and there's something to it as well. Like, if you're getting into that, there's no matter what, like this wolf at the door mindset, it could all be gone. What if I don't have enough to give to my kids? What if all this is gone? It's like, there's this point where it's like, if you lost everything, you still have more than enough. You already had
you're in
more
good
than
company
enough.
with 40% of Americans who got not shit after each paycheck, so
Yeah.
So what?
It's like the I mean it's what was nagging me in my recent just my most recent arguments with people on Twitter about rent control and landlord stuff, where it's just like, yeah, well, they have to make up the cost of this rent control by charging other people more. It's like, do they? No, they want to. It's like the only reason, I don't know. It's like this basic part of free market capitalist economics is just like, when the demand goes up, the price goes up, because, or if the supply goes down, it's like, no, it's just when the demand goes up or the supply goes down, the price can go up. So it does. It's like you can charge more because people will be willing to pay it because it's scarce, or because, scarcity just from high demand or low supply. It's like, so the price can go up. People will pay more, so you charge them more. There's nothing.
it's a choice for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing like inherent to nature about this, which it is the true malicious propaganda that we all grow to accept through basic economic principles.
Never understood supply and demand. Because I'm always if there's more demand for it, why wouldn't you lower the motherfucking prices so you'd have more demand for it and you'd make just as much fucking money? It has never ever made sense to me. Because then
it all sells out. So, but it's like, so if there's higher demand,
but it was going to sell out anyways. If people are still going to fucking pay that price, you're still going to sell out your product.
Exactly. And so, and it's like in the only, because it's all fucking voodoo, right? So what I always say, it's like, it's modern, just regular run-of-the-mill Econ 101 stuff is good at explaining why things happened, but it's so mushy, like, as theory, and economists just are in denial always about.
They're just simping for corporations because they always say
that it's anything but, like saying, well, if this happens, then blank. If blank, then blank. It's like, that's kind of a prediction, but it really comes down to people doing what they want. And so it's more down to
very few people.
Societal pressures that lead people to live these lives like you're describing, in constantly desiring more to accumulate and have a big ugly shitty house, or to buy up their competitors, or just to make more money because they can. That is the foundation of why the supply and demand curves meet at the price point. It's not science, like they'll always say. It's not even math unless you're doing it retrospectively. It drives me crazy because it's like, no, the price goes up when demand goes up because, hey, I can make more money. I've got something that people want. I can make more money, actually, than what I'm selling it for right now. You don't have to, but it's
not
accepted,
worth that.
But
except for it is when people will pay for it.
But it's accepted that that's what you do. That's what you do. Is if you can make more money, then you do make more money. That's what you do. That's the problem. I mean, and it's just undergirds every economic transaction in a free market capitalist system, and it's going to ruin humanity.
Disgusting. What's interesting is these stories. You ever heard of the Buddha? Siddhartha, who
No.
was a prince, and he had spent his entire life inside the palace walls being incredibly, incredibly privileged and so beyond rich, and finally
Hassan,
he goes
Turkey.
he goes out into the world and he sees all this suffering and is so moved by it that he gives up his entire life. He literally becomes the Buddha, like the Buddha, and meditates on it and all this kind of stuff. And it's just obviously, he's like this there's like supernatural sort of aspect, or whatever you want to say, spiritual, of course, aspect to what he does, and like sits under a tree for like however many days, and like a cobra covers him from the rain and all this kind of crap. But it just feels like
typical stuff.
That story right there, that's like thousands of years old, of some rich person really realizing the meaning sort of behind humanity and compassion and all these kinds of things.
Empathy.
And like what life is about. Yeah. And it's definitely not about, he doesn't just turn back around and go into his castle and lock himself
Say,
up.
well, it's better in there than it is out here.
Sure is nice in there. Yeah. Sucks to suck, for these people. And just, it's just really interesting when people just don't get that. It's really weird. And especially because a lot of people that end up, not a lot of people, there's a lot of generational wealth, of course. But some people who are like more like millionaires, they didn't start out millionaires. Their parents are not millionaires by any stretch of the imagination, and then it's like, really, truly, it's like, you forgot where you came from. I thought, you were still Jenny from the block.
Yeah.
Don't you
If you climbed
know
a
what
ladder,
it's...
there were rungs there in place. You stepped on things to get there. And you have to remember, if you're climbing a ladder, someone put the ladder there,
Yeah. Did you build that ladder?
Who's fucking holding the ladder? I fell off my roof, okay? Someone's got to hold the ladder.
Yeah, this is actually literal. This is not a metaphor.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, that's the problem is the
Buddha would have been a really bad
assumptions
CEO,
about,
is what I'm saying.
about empathy. We have a system where if everyone was empathetic, would
be
work
pathetic.
very well. But not everyone is. And that system not only allows for the unempathetic to be successful, but
Rewards them
rewards
for
it.
being
Yes.
empathetic.
I mean, that's
literally the stupid phrase that it says it's just business. It's
Yeah.
just business.
I mean,
I hate it.
That's
I hate that shit.
The problem with that's the unfortunate problem that was overlooked by the founding father of modern capitalism, Adam Smith, that we read in episode 1. Is his assumption that everyone has this empathy, that, you still feel for the beggar on the street. You still feel bad if someone else gets hurt or if someone else is doing bad. It's like, no, sorry, man, this system that you, whatever. I'm so bad at talking, but it's like
Came up with? Yeah.
yeah, he didn't come up with it, but yeah, that
He came up with capitalism. It's all
that
Adam
you
Smith's fault.
promote, actually rewards those that don't have that empathy that you're assuming that they do, rewards them too much, and then it becomes a self-perpetuating system. So, to finish up here,
So fuck off, Adam Smith.
one other thing, yeah. At the end of the day,
I love Karl Marx.
because
Same.
Karl Marx wasn't just the socialist. He wasn't the guy who invented socialism like Adam Smith invented capitalism, but he was a guy who analyzed capitalism, that learned and expressed so much about capitalism. It's not like, I just don't get that. People are just like, are you Karl Marx? It's like, you know what Karl Marx's biggest work is called? Capital. Okay, it's about capitalism.
It's like a criticism.
Yeah,
or
it's
like
like
an
the Communist
analysis.
Manifesto is totally different. Like, anyway, if you want to talk about economics, you don't know more about capitalist economics than Karl Marx does. Alan
The guy who
Greenspan
literally wrote a book on it. Yeah.
yeah, Alan Greenspan didn't know more about capitalist economics than Karl Marx did. It's like he's this crusty guy who sat around and did nothing but think about it. But anyway, the other, I think, important thing that I came across on Twitter, and I just could not believe that this was real, and I'm finding out that it was
It's not. Oh.
and that it is real. Let's see. Can I search on my own? I didn't put a link here. Have you ever seen someone?
Have you ever had some bomb pussy? You know what?
Have you ever
Nice.
heard of someone eating a banana and mayonnaise sandwich?
No.
I
no.
refuse to believe that people eat this, but it came across and people were critiquing. I mean, the picture, it was like, I was like, this is a shit post, right?
It's like
this is a fucking joke, right?
the visceral
but
reaction
slices
to
of
this.
banana on white bread, and then just a load of mayo on the other side. And so, of course, it really took off because someone, it was a joke about white people or whatever. They're like, white people really look at this
Don't
and
lump
be
me
excited.
in.
And so many
Yeah.
people, including myself, was like, I am so fucking white.
I'm horrified.
I've never
Yeah.
even heard of that in my entire life. And thinking that it was kind of a joke or something. And I mean, I've heard, peanut butter and banana sandwich. Hell yeah.
That's
and maybe
delicious.
That's a white
Peanut
person
butter
thing,
and
I don't know.
honey.
Yeah. And like,
That's just universally
and I
good.
have heard of and tasted peanut butter and mayo, or it was peanut butter and Miracle Whip sandwich. I didn't believe that my friend was ever telling the truth until finally one day we were at his home and his mom was making him. I was like, oh, you weren't joking for these past 3 years? You've eaten these? He's like, I don't know how many times I've had to tell you I ate peanut butter and Miracle Whip sandwiches. It's like, maybe there's something I don't know. No, I ate it. I was like, no, it's gross. I don't know
It's
why
fucking
anyone would put those
disgusting.
together. But I just feel like even that is somehow slightly more comprehensible than
Peanut butter makes
banana
more sense
and mayonnaise.
because peanut butter does a lot of different things. You know,
Yeah.
it's like in savory stuff. You know, it's like
Sure.
peanut sauce
People
and
have
whatever.
peanut butter and bacon and stuff
and
like that
on burgers. Yeah, I've had it before.
Right? Yeah. But like peanut or
Banana
banana and mayo.
and
So
mayonnaise
instead
on a white bread.
scrolling through, and of course, so many people being just bewildered as I was. And then other people still just being like, God, you white people. And all these people are like, sorry, like, seriously, maybe this is a Southern thing.
This is
and other
weird
people in the
people,
South
not
being
white
like,
people.
the people in the South being like, I've never heard of that. And then,
That seems like a Midwestern thing, I bet.
no, and it was running up. They're like, no, yeah, of course, in the South. I mean, we would only do it with Duke's mayo, though. I'm like, you're joking.
Duke's mayo, they're very, very proud of that mayonnaise.
Sure.
Down there. When I was there, man,
I love mayonnaise. I know you don't even like it anyway. I love mayonnaise. I love a
not really at all.
good mayonnaise on a burger, on a sandwich, whatever. I'll dip French fries in mayonnaise. It's fucking delicious. But like but I was like, it just doesn't even make sense. Like, even like a stoner thinking of weird stuff, you wouldn't even do that. I don't get it. And when people say, well, I mean, yeah, we'd have mayo and banana, but with peanut butter on one side. And other people are like, no, there's no peanut butter. No, this is the way to do it. He just put too much mayo on it. I'm like, I refuse to believe. I can't believe there's the opposite of whatever the X-Files poster is. Like, this is not happening. Not real. So you have not heard of anyone eating this, huh?
I am trying to imagine the flavors together, and I am not a fan of mayonnaise, so I'm definitely biased in this. I like mayonnaise, like, whatever, potato salad, or like it's used as a mix for things a lot, and that's fine. But I put butter on my sandwiches instead. But I just can't imagine those flavors really going that well together. It doesn't seem like a good pairing
it doesn't make
to me.
sense anyway. Like, I just don't
Put some
get
honey
it.
on that shit. God, what are you doing? You have the opportunity for like a yummy sandwich and you put mayonnaise on it?
This person I've followed for a long time, right? Over 1,000 likes. This is the only time you'll catch me not all white peopling, because what the fuck is that? And other people like, you can't be serious. I've never seen someone. Well, yeah, because the post was only white folks will understand this crying emoji. And someone says, you can't be serious, right? And they're like, well, I've never seen someone black in my life eat this. And everyone's like, I've never seen anyone white eat that either. No one eats that.
I've never seen a human being, maybe like a raccoon getting it out of the trash somehow accidentally made that combination. But I don't know. I think they have some standards too.
Oh, God. And then, I don't know where this person's coming from with this, or if this is real, but then the opposite, saying that George Floyd, his brother, said he used to make the best banana mayonnaise sandwiches, and he used to make syrup sandwiches. Okay, that's say what? French toast? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
whatever. It's syrup.
Let's see. I understood this. I ate this today, LOL, but I know that person's joking. I follow them. I don't know any person. My dogs wouldn't eat that. And then someone, I'm like, they say, I grew up on that. That was my grandpa's favorite sandwich. No, you're not real.
Liar.
I can still
You're
smell
a Russian
the buttermilk he loved,
like
too.
sowing discord, on Twitter. That's like some Russian fake account trying to get people to fight over this.
Yes!
That's who came up with that.
This is what's tearing America apart. This is all astroturfed.
And honestly, this should be bringing us together, because there's no way there's two sides to this.
Ugh. My father made ketchup and banana sandwiches. Even that, though, still seems to make more sense to me. That sounds disgusting, too.
Ketchup and bananas. Interesting. Bananas are just such like a strong flavor. It seems like they really has to go with what you're putting
texture,
it with.
They're unique. Everything about it. It's like, there's only so many things
I
you
thought
can
you were
combine
say
them with.
when you started this. I thought you were going to say people who eat bananas with the peel on or something. I thought that's what you were going to say, and
No.
I'm like, okay, people eating some weird stuff out here, but
That's how you get the
nope,
radiation.
even weirder.
Let's see. Banana and mayonnaise sandwich got its start during the Great Depression, when people would top slices of bread with anything they had in the house. Oh, yeah, in the Great Depression, you had all these bananas sitting around in the house. No. It's
People
like,
in the
one
Dust
that
Bowl
I
love
remember,
bananas from South America.
yeah, those bananas that you literally don't even exist anymore because they're high society. Which is true. The history of bananas in America is pretty interesting.
And why wouldn't they just eat them separately then?
Yes.
You don't have to eat them together. You could just eat mayonnaise on a piece of bread, which in my opinion is gross, but I think a lot of people would eat that.
Hell yeah.
And then you eat a banana on the side.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Why
it's
would
like,
you?
And people saying that, I'm like, no, because Granny, or dear old Granny, talking about some of the stuff like that they would eat because they were coming out of the Great Depression when she was really young. They were very poor and stuff.
Dirt poor.
And she was saying, lettuce sandwich, and you'd sprinkle some sugar on it so that you had something.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's like, that makes way more sense. And that's a Depression era food.
That definitely sounds like
bread's the biggest part
bananas
of it.
seem unbelievably expensive. Like for the Great Depression. Like it would be like something that you would have such a hard time getting your hands on. But I don't know. Maybe there's a bunch of bananas growing in the United States that I'm not aware of in the 1920s or whatever. But
yeah, and so
maybe that's what the Dust Bowl happened, was because they were growing too many bananas.
Yeah, exactly.
In the plains.
And it's really,
all those banana
they
plantations.
hadn't learned like the proper farming practices to rejuvenate the soils and rotate their crops and just desolation from all of the banana trees.
All the banana
in
trees.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Okay, we're hitting an hour. Okay, I love you. Shout out to
nice.
Arm Brown.
I love you too.
Oh, I forgot that I had all of these on here. Where's Arm? Okay,
That was a really nice
yeah.
one. Thanks, Inane Blather.
okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Shout
Not
out
good.
to Danae.
Yeah.
New listener. I was gonna say long time listener, but no.
Longtime friend.
Not a long time listener. Yeah, long time friend. Glad she's been listening. She wants to join us sometime. Talk about maybe do a little deep dive in some of this Christianity, the Christian world that she's been involved with throughout her life, and would be an interesting topic for us. So, Danae, you're putting on you're on the spot now.
Yeah.
You got to do it now.
It'll be a Patreon episode along with our Team America World Police breakdown. So, okay. Well, I love you. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah. Everybody, Humby, if you're still listening, you're my
Shout out to
Humby
Mia.
bunny.
Have fun with your new sugar gliders.
Googer sliders.
Googer sliders. Googer sliders.
German. Yeah. Careful. My mother was a saint. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody
Natalie.
else, love you too. Zach, love you. Okay, bye.
Okay.
Love you too.
Oh, wait a minute.
Douglas.
Shoot. I don't know where it
You're like, let's talk about Israel-Palestine.
Everything Joe Biden touches turns to shit.
I couldn't find my bitches leave.
Everything.
Okay. Anyway. On that note, love you. Bye.
Okay. Bitches leave. Okay, love you. Bye.